Welcome back to the channel. As you'll know, in the last video I was going to do some videos in between Christmas and New Year, but alas, my plans went up in smoke. We all caught COVID, and so we've been laid up and resting up since the in between Christmas and New Year, and this is really the first opportunity that I've had to come out. So today and tonight I'm doing a simple camp, very simple food, and there's a good reason for that, because I don't have any sense of smell or taste at the moment. So I don't know what it's going to smell like, and I don't know what it's going to taste like. So what we'll go for is something that looks nice, fingers crossed. I've got the Pomoly hot-tarp with me today. I'm not using it as a hammock tent because you've seen that. So I'm going to try and rig it up in a different way, more of a tenty sort of affair. I have got the Smoky Joe wood burner, that old wood burner of mine, with me to keep me nice and warm. It's supposed to go down to -1, -2 tonight, but yeah, fingers crossed. I think we'll have a good time. So I'm going to set the tarp up first, because I have no idea what I'm doing, and rather than bore you with it, I'll set it up and then I'll show you exactly what I've done with it. So I'll get on with that. So this is what tenty looks like today. I'll try and show you around it a bit, but one thing I will say is that these things, let's see if I can get them in focus, these things here, you can get them off eBay, and they're tarp clips. So you undo them and you clip them over the seam on the tarpaulin, and you screw that shut, and then you've got an eyelet wherever you want it, which is a bit of a game changer, because it means that you don't have to rely on just where the loops are to make something, to make the shape that you want to try and get, or to fix the shape that doesn't work, as you'll see in a minute. I've attached the three centre loops on the hot tent tarp to the ridge line, and currently the far end is up as well, because that's just so that I can get in and out. So it's just the centre section, the centre three eyelets that are supported, and then I've pegged out the bottom. Let's see if I can. And then I've pegged out the bottom and put the guys out, and as you can see, the stove jack is just here, which means that I can put the wood burner in, and it should be absolutely fine. And then on the back side of it, I've pulled out from the ridge line, and then I've used the guy lines to just stretch it out a little bit more. And it's actually quite a cavernous space inside. I'll take you inside and show you. So this is just looking in through that door at the far end, and you can see there's a lot of space in there. I'll get some lights in later and you can see it properly, but that's the ridge, and then you can see the inside of the stove jack. So I'll go and get everything, and then, in fact, what I'll do is I'll just go in there so you can put it into context. This is how big it is. It's massive in here, and that door just closes up, so when I've got everything in and I'm comfy and the sun starts setting, job's a good one. Tonight I've gone all in. So this is the sleep system for tonight. I have a system. I'm using a mock insulated hammock mat underneath, and then under that I have a DD underquilt for the hammock, so I'm using that under the insulated mattress. Then I have a wool blanket on, and then I have my Enlightened Equipment sleeping quilt, and then I have a Thermarest pillow, and I also have a Sea to Summit pillow that my brother bought me for Christmas. I'm really rather looking forward to trying that. But oh yes, and then a pair of Sundicks. Keep my little tootsies warm at night. It's supposed to drop down, as I said earlier, about -1, -2. So yes, that's where I'm sleeping tonight. It looks quite luxurious actually. The wood burner is installed. It's looking a bit rusty actually. I think I probably need to give it a bit of a coat of that heat paint. Just spruce it up a bit for the coming season. So yes, I'm going to light that a little bit later I think. But I think I'm going to have a fire outside, because I do like having a little campfire, and it's It's supposed to be a really clear night tonight, so I'll light a fire outside and then I'll bring it in later on when it's chilled off. As I said earlier, I'm doing quite a simple tea. I know there are some people that don't like the cooking part of the videos, and there are a lot of people that do. There are also some people who can't cook, don't want to cook, don't know how to cook. And I was thinking whilst I was lounging around with COVID, that maybe I do something simpler. So today I've brought a ready meal, and I'm going to cook it in a Dutch oven, so it just simulates putting it in the oven, and we'll see how that turns out. I think it's going to be okay. I mean, it's a Dutch oven. You know, what can go wrong? So yeah, I'm going to try that, but I won't be doing that until quite a bit later. Not hungry at the moment. So yes, I think I'm just going to chill out at the moment. Something that I've been meaning to do for a little while. My Bush Law Condor knife, carbon steel blade, and it needs a nip up. Because the edge is getting a bit dull. I normally strop it with a leather strop, but I'm actually going to sharpen it today, and I'm using a Lansky system. I don't know whether many of you have seen them. It's a guide, so you use this, you clamp this onto the blade, I'll show you that in a minute, and then you have, in this one you've got 5 stones, so they range from very, very coarse to very fine, and then you've got some oil, and then you've got the guide bars that you use through this guide. So I'll set it up and then I'll come back to you and show you how it's done. Like this piece, it goes on the back of the blade, so you clamp the back of the knife blade in there. Kind of fiddly to do on camera. Like that. There's a little ridge just inside, I don't know whether you can see it. A little ridge that the back of the knife blade goes on. And you put it in the middle of the blade, and then you do up this knurled nut here. You do that up, and that clamps the guide to the blade. So you end up with something like that. The stones look like this. This is the really fine one. And they have a hole in the back with a little knurled nut. And you put the guide bar through there, do that up, like so. This is actually the really fine one, so I'll use the other one first. I'm only using the fine and then the extra fine today, because it's not a vast sharpening job. So then the guide bar goes through, depending on what angle, I think you can just see it, the angles are written on there, 30, 25, 20 and 15 I think they are. So you find out what angle your blade is sharpened at, and mine, by the looks of it, right, 25. Looks like that's a 25mm grind. So we put a bit of oil on the stone. So it tends to get messy. Just along the stone, a little bit of oil. Top on that. And then you slot it through, in this case the 25. It's 25. It's not. No, I was wrong. It's a 20-degree grind on this blade. So anyway, what you do is you just gently work it along, backwards and forwards. And you can see that it's just gently polishing up the edge of that blade. As with all good plans, it's not an expensive knife, and there are different angles on both sides of the blade. So maybe if someone knows a good knife smith or knife man, they could put it in the comments or drop me a comment, because I'd quite like to get it sharpened properly so that the Scandi grind is the same on both sides, which means that it's easier for me to sharpen. But yeah, if someone knows of anyone, that would be really helpful. So I've run the stones up and down it now, and I'm just going to strop it. So use a leather strop. This one I think I got it off Amazon. You use a bit of this stick, which is like a grinding compound, and you just rub it onto the strop. And this just takes any burrs off that are. You draw the knife back onto it. Well, it's certainly a lot sharper than it was. Definitely right for a bushcraft knife. I've got hunting knives, well, ones that I use when I'm deer stalking, and they're bucks, and you can get a really good edge on those. They're so sharp that all you have to do is touch yourself with them and they cut you. Yeah, but that's perfectly acceptable. It doesn't take long. I mean, I actually went back and I used all of the stones just to take off any nicks. But you can see if you look down the blade, there's no shiny bits on the edge. So there you go. My knife is sharp again. I think I might light the campfire now. It's, the sun's starting to set now, so it's starting to cool off. I hope you understand me not wanting to do a particularly energetic fire starting today, so I'm using a fire lighter. And that's just the old piece of rag that I was using when I was wiping the oil off the knife. So hopefully this will be nice and straightforward, because I've got a cup of coffee or tea. Yeah, I think that's achieved the objective. Nice little warm fire, lovely. Ow. You may have noticed I forgot the kettle. Luckily I had a saucepan. Doesn't really matter. The pot's boiling, and I haven't got a pot holder either, so dicing with death here. And you can always guarantee that your phone will ping just when you're in the middle of something. It really is a beautiful day today. Sun shining, although it's going a bit lower now. Great to be back out. It was a welcome sign when the bluebells start coming up. That means spring's on its way. Yeah. Just been warming up the Dutch oven a little bit, just so it's ready to go when I'm ready. I'll put some charcoal briquettes just on the edge of the fire, just to get them started, because I'm going to use the briquettes on the top of the Dutch oven, because I don't really want to destroy the fire, because it's a bit chilly out here. Sun's gone now, you can see in the distance. It's just set now, so it's getting a bit chilly and I don't want to destroy the fire, so that's why I'm using the briquettes. So I want most of the heat to come in through the top of the Dutch oven. Now we've still got a nice warm fire. So on the menu this evening we have Hunter's chicken, which is a ready to cook thing from the co-op. It says it takes 30 minutes and serves 2. Well, it's serving 1 and it'll take how long it takes. We have some reduced to clear chips. I think they went out of date yesterday, but they're only chips. So I'm going to try and do these at the same time. So wish me luck. The Dutch oven's been heating now for about 15 minutes, I suppose. So I'm going to leave it going for another quarter of an hour or so. Oh, it's a nice 3/4 moon come out to play tonight. See quite how clear it is. So there's going to be quite a good frost tonight. Lovely. So the instructions are quite clear. They say gas mark 5, 190 degrees, or a whole load of charcoal. Well, they don't actually say the last bit, but yeah. If I can get to the knob. Take the lid off and put the food in. Pop a glove on. It's always a good idea not to put your lid down on the leaves. And then we go, oops, into the chicken. And hopefully into the chips. Oh, look at that. Made to measure. It is an FT12, it's the big one, but well, we'll see what happens. We'll open it up in half an hour and assess the situation. So it's just under 30 minutes, so I'm going to put this sauce stuff on the chicken. Some sort of barbecue sauce. Not going to make much difference, we can't taste it. Minutes. Oh, let's wear a glove for that. That's very hot. It's the moment of truth. Can you do a ready meal in a Dutch oven? I think you can. And that's the end result of the cooking. So it just proves you can do a ready meal in a Dutch oven. So let's get it on a plate. I forgot to bring some flipping mayonnaise, so this sauce is going to be the lubricant. The chips are nice as well. So there you go. Right, let's get into it. Well, I ate it. The chicken was really well cooked. The chips were nice and crunchy, chippy. Apart from that, I've got nothing. I don't know what it tasted like. So yeah, hopefully the next time I come out, I'll have my taste back. But never mind. It's really nice, really lovely evening. Really is nice. Cooling off quite nicely. So, hot chocolate, I think. A bit of decadence this evening, even though I probably can't taste it, but going with a salted caramel spoon that you stir into hot milk. So, let's see what that's like. And it's got little marshmallows in it as well. Two. Hot milk. Chocolate spoon. Well, if that's not a decadent hot chocolate out in the woods, I don't think it exists. Well, I can confirm that felt decadent. I look forward to trying one when I can taste it, but nice consistency, kind of gooey. The marshmallows, when they melt, they give it a really nice kind of gloopy texture. So just relaxing now. The moon's come right out now, so if I can swing you around and let you have a look. You can see it's quite hazy and foggy, but it's there anyway. Good morning. I think I've finally cracked sleeping on the mattress. That was a really good night's sleep. I think having the amok mat, it's insulated and it doesn't have those funny ridges on that the Climate mat has. But yes, it stayed put. Really good night. In fact, it was a fantastic camp. Last night was clear, the moon was out, the stars were out, had a nice campfire outside. And this morning the sun's out. It was a wonderful spring day. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and please, if you haven't subscribed already, please do, and tick the bell button for notifications so that you know when the next video is coming out. I will be doing another video next week, because I definitely won't have COVID next week. So I'll see you on that one. Thanks very much.